All right, all right. What's going on,
Yep,
everyone?
looks like we're live. Okay, so we are here with Sean and myself from the Tesla Model 3 Hypermile that you guys just saw us do over the weekend. And real quick, we wanted to give a huge shout out again to our sponsor. And they should still be down in the description below if you would like, definitely check them out. So we had like Wunder Capital, Stuttgart Auto Body, and then
FYIN.com and Colorado Detail.
Yep. And huge shout out to them. And also shout out to you guys for helping us get through that. And all you guys that donated. It was amazing. We can't really thank you guys enough for that. That meant so
That was
much to
really
us.
surprising.
So surprising. And we will be posting pictures of the steak that you guys told us to have with that money. So yeah, but we just wanted to go over a few things. Maybe later this week, this weekend, we will be doing kind of like an AMA and some other stuff on Sean's channel. So definitely check him out. It's the first link in the description, and subscribe, turn on the bell so you can get notified when we do that, because again, that'll be really interactive and everything. And I can already see some questions come through.
Yep.
Real quick though, we wanted to go over the car, because that is the
Yep.
question everybody is asking.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people were surprised that it wouldn't charge. And we ended up having to have the car towed, flatbed trucked to the Tesla Service Center. That was a Sunday. They were open the following day on Memorial Day, which is a holiday here in the US. And I just want to take a moment to say thanks to Tesla, thanks to Big Tesla, thanks to Service Center in Littleton, Tesla, thanks to the point of contact that is my go-to at Littleton. Everyone has just been fantastic. They went above and beyond. They got the car in immediately. There was no appointment needed. They knew that it needed to be looked at, and so they got it in immediately. And thankfully, the car is back in the owner's hands.
Yep.
The owner that we borrowed the car from for the trip. The car is working fine. They did a diagnostic, and there's no issues with the car, no problems with the battery. What they did determine was that because of how far we pushed the car, it did completely drain the 12-volt battery. And the dead 12-volt battery was the reason why the car did not supercharge. Apparently, the 12-volt opens up the connectors for the supercharger and allows the high voltage juice to flow into the battery. When they replaced the 12-volt with a new one, Tesla says that they were able to charge the car without problems on a high power supercharger, as well as lower level high powered wall charger. Um, so Tesla was just fantastic. They actually replaced the 12 volt on Goodwill, so they didn't charge the owner, Carissa, and they didn't charge. I mean, I would have paid for it. I would
Right.
not have let Carissa cover that if Tesla would have asked for money. But Tesla was so good; they understood the situation, and not only did they get the car in immediately to have it taken a look at, but they also replaced it on Goodwill. So for those that hate on Tesla, they do so much for their owners, and
They really do.
they bend over backwards to make sure that the customer has a fantastic experience. And there may be a few instances across the globe where people don't, but by and large, and I can say from my personal experience, that Tesla does a fantastic job at taking care of their customers. So
Hmm.
Tesla, Big Tesla, and Littleton Tesla, thank you for taking care of Carissa and her Model 3. The car is working just fine. In fact, I went over to the service center yesterday with Carissa just to kind of thank the service center and meet everyone in person, and make sure that Carissa was able to drive off without any issues. So that was why the car did not charge. The 12-volt battery was just completely drained, and it
Hmm.
prevented the car from supercharging. We still don't know what we kind of have figured out is that when we started the trip, before we started the hypermile attempt, we did supercharge,
Hmm.
we saw 313 miles on the battery, but we only had access to 66 kilowatt hours. And it's my understanding that we should have had access to the 75, and Tesla's still investigating that. So hopefully, when we do our live AMA on Friday or Saturday sometime
Mhm.
on my channel, we'll be able to give you another update to let you know what happened there. I have some ideas, but
Mhm.
I'll save those for
Yep.
when we do the next live stream.
Yeah, so definitely subscribe because that should be pretty interesting on what we've learned thus far, but we don't want to say anything until everything is confirmed. And we'll just talk about it then. But yeah, car is up and running. Car is doing well. Turns out it was just a 12 volt all along. And it was basically at a point where plugging in the 12 volt to a separate jumper wasn't even working.
Yeah.
So we murdered that 12 volt battery.
Yeah, that so much so that they had to replace it. And
Yeah.
before I forget, I just want to give the press a big thank you as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Over the last day or two, it's been covered not only well here in the U.S. with all the major EV websites like Electric and Teslarati, but it's also been covered by some large tech websites, just tech in general, like
Mhm.
Gizmodo and The Verge is the one that I just saw.
Yep.
But I've also seen it covered in Korean, Russian, Spanish, and Norwegian. My friend from Norway
Yeah.
sent me a screenshot of one of the biggest online newspapers in Norway, and there we were on the front page of their website. So super cool.
Yep.
Thanks to all the press who reached out, and happy to reach out personally to everyone who I've been in contact with and who Eric has been in contact with, so we can get you some direct quotes
Yep.
from that.
Yeah. And really, thanks so much to you guys too, because you helped keep us sane.
Oh,
Really.
yeah. I don't
It
know
was
what we would have done.
it was 32 hours in a car, upwards of 108 degrees. It got pretty brutal there for a while.
Yeah.
So really thanks for you guys for tuning in, and hopefully that kind of solves it because I know we've been getting so many questions about what happened,
Hmm.
and at least we know regarding how it died, why, and why it couldn't charge. We'll know more about the 66 kilowatt thing, hopefully Friday or Saturday, and that's when we'll come at you again. But until then, I think that's kind of it.
Cool.
So definitely subscribe to John's channel, and we will come at you then a little later this week.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.